No! Close the gate!
You struggle against the unstoppable tide of progress, Avengers.
This just got a whole lot weirder.
You should know. I'm not in the best of moods.
Avengers, if you can hear me, the convoy is transporting a highly lethal sonic disruptor bomb.
I will rid the Earth of superpowers, even if it has to end with me.
So I've covered this over and over again. I'm starting to get on my own nerves. Okay, but one thing that I haven't covered was the fact that one of the head developers at Crystal Dynamics, in many ways, he said, we probably won't be making any more hero operations. And to be honest with you, I think that was the most brave thing to say to a large group of fans of something as much as the Avengers games go, because I mean, that's the reason why we bought into the game, because of the operations and the story, the campaign, the I don't know. I mean, how did I see this? It's everywhere on YouTube. There's the brown noser YouTubers that cover the stories on this stuff, or the news, or the developing news that come from the Avengers game. You can look for it on their own channel. Just go right there at the Avengers channel on YouTube, and right then and there they said no more hero operations. We still, to be honest with you, I'm still not over Jane Foster coming in empty-handed, because basically she was just empty-handed. She was a cut and paste of Thor, and empty-handed. No villains, no Omega threat level, no raid. It was nothing. It was empty calories. Basically, they just fed us empty calories at a price too, by the way. And I see these other YouTubers, I'm not gonna say names, Dureg, and they asked the question, are you okay with hey Bert, are you okay with bad with them coming up with no more hero operations on the Avengers game? You know, that was the dumbest question I ever heard anybody ever say, according to a supposed fan of the Avengers game. Are you upset that they're not making any more hero operations on a game that's based on storytelling? Storytelling. Comic books are storytellers. The MCU, based off the comic books, is a storyteller. That's why it's a movie. They're trying to move the Avengers game from a good AAA campaign, operations, missions type of game to just every cheap-ass, free-to-play, online, cash grab crap. Because that's what they're doing. They're trying to sell you now a cash grab of a game. F the stories, F the operations, F the missions, F any explanation to any of the characters that will be following up with Jane Foster, also known as the Mighty Thor. Because the only story you get with Jane Foster is the intro. And I already made a video of this previously, before this one, where it's just the intro. And then the interaction between Jane Foster and the Avengers from that multiverse, because Jane Foster is a multiverse character, because now they're trying to base this Jane Foster from the idea of Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness. This Jane Foster is the mirror image of Thor, of this Avengers multiverse, or 616 if you want to call it that. This is the 838 or the 93 something, you know, or the 1308, because Thor in her multiverse loses his left arm. Odinson goes insane. He gets killed by Loki, and then Jane Foster gets sucked into a wormhole that coincidentally shows up right after Odinson gets killed. no explanation on why that happened. As a matter of fact, my wife thought that Loki's the one that made the portal open. I told her no, it's just a wormhole that popped up, and even she was like, wait a minute, just popped up, just like out of nowhere, and it took her to that multiverse where the Thor was already there with a Mjolnir, and she's like, that makes no sense. What about the Jane Foster from that multiverse? Right? 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 I continued to play on with the Jane Foster character, and she was like, wait a minute, even my wife, who's not a big comic book buff, or not even for that matter, she likes the Avengers game, but she is so annoyed with it because I play it all the time. Even she had her doubts on Jane Foster, because even she noticed that they were the same moves, the same abilities, the same emotes, with the exclusion of some. Thor grips the Mjolnir when he attacks. Jane Foster throws it, but still, same, beam of starfire, same. Well, I mean, the only difference is the name of some of them and the main ability, the Jane Foster, where she makes Mjolnir seek out enemies, and she's got that gold one, different from Thor's Bifrost. But that's about the only few things that's different about her. Maybe some of her takedowns are different, but the other ones are still very much the same as Thor's. I mean, they didn't even make the intention of making her different. They didn't even make the effort of making her different. She was a cut and paste character. Okay?
But they had the same thing too on Kate Bishop and Hawkeye. It's still the same thing.
No, it's not, because Kate Bishop, who has her own hero operation, by the way, as well as Hawkeye and as well as Black Panther. Not so much Spider-Man, because you have to find them out the window to the helicarrier in order for his to start. But it's not as big, but it's more than Jane Foster. But anyways, no, Kate Bishop is totally, completely different from Hawkeye, because Kate Bishop can teleport where Hawkeye cannot. Her maneuverability with the sword is different from Hawkeye. Her abilities with her bow and arrow are completely different from Hawkeye. Her emotes are different from Hawkeye. Her takedowns are different from Hawkeye. So they're not mirror images. As a matter of fact, they're still from the same universe. They're multiverse. This Thor is from that multiverse, and Jane Foster is from another one. But that's no excuse to make them the same. They didn't even make an effort. What's the explanation to Kate Foster? What's the explanation to Jane Foster showing up there through that wormhole that coincidentally just dropped her there? What cosmic explanation can they give that Jane Foster was teleported there for a purpose? None. They're not giving us any. They're not giving us any. There were rumors before the drop that she was going to come with an operation, that she was going to come with villains, that she was going to come with new locations. Those were the rumors. That's why I don't trust YouTubers and leakers. I don't trust them, because they come up with falseness, and the developers keep throwing curveballs at you, and also with a very distinct way of telling you, go F yourself, because we're the ones in charge, we're the ones making the decision, and if you don't like it, then don't play the effing game. Basically, that's all they're saying to us. That's the crap part. And yet we have YouTubers asking, are you okay with Avengers no longer having any more hero operations? Are you fudging kidding me? Are you on drugs? Basically, to me, it's just like the developer, it's like handing you over a donut without the glaze.
So, I found this box of donuts, and, it's the last one. Do you want it? Because I don't. I picked it especially for you. Wait, hold on really quick. I think I dropped a napkin. Pink, please. Here you go!
They just handed you the bread without the icing. They skimmed the icing off the top, basically. That's what they're doing. That's what they did. That's what they did, and that's what they're gonna do. So, am I okay with them not making any plans for hero operations in the future? No, I'm not. Am I okay with the way that they presented Jane Foster into this universe? No, I'm not. Am I okay with the constant cash grab that they're planning on making now for the next so-and-so updates of the game? No, I'm not. Am I okay with the idea or the possibility of them wanting to turn the Avengers game into just another PUBG, another Fortnite, another Warzone, another Fall Guys? No, I'm not. Plus, please fix your lobbies, fix your servers. There's only 4 people on a 4-player co-op game. It acts as if you're dealing with a server and a lobby that deals with 100 and something players instead of just 4. And when it boots you in the middle of a match, it has that stupid little thing in the middle that says that you've been booted because your internet connection was bad, but when you exit the game on either the PlayStation or the Xbox and you go to check your internet connection, but it turns out that your internet connection is completely and totally fine, it's actually their crap servers. Don't let them bring you down for their crap servers, because that's something else they need to fix. There's a whole bunch of things wrong with this game since day 1, and people still stuck around for them, and it doesn't even look like they care. That's my opinion. I'm a fan. Sorry. I'm a fan, not a fanatic, like most of the fanboys and fangirls might be, who will eat up any turd that comes out from between their butt cheeks and eats it. I'm gonna voice my opinion because I love this game. It's a game with a lot of potential, and I want to see it grow into something even greater. I want this game to end up being the Infinity War and the end game that the MCU films gave us. Okay, I want to get excited about the stuff that's going to happen in this game that's going to come up. I want to be excited over the developers getting ready to drop new news about the next big development. 2 years this game's gone on, and for 2 years we've been fighting AIM. For 2 years we've been fighting, maybe not 2 years, maybe, well, almost the equivalence of 1, Claw. I think it's time they give us the stuff that they've been mentioning and teasing us with. And also, if you want someone to blame Crystal Dynamics, blame your brown-nosing YouTubers. The ones that, you know, do all the PR for you. Because they're the ones spreading all these rumors. Also, you can blame that leaker who keeps, you know, giving out all the information that you probably don't want people to find out, because then, you know, you're not really delivering on what the leak is based on. So, that was my 2 cents. I hope you enjoyed my 2 pennies. They were slightly rusted and green around the edges. If you agree with what I just mentioned, you know, are you I mean, it's a stupid question, I shouldn't even be asking this, but are you okay with the fact that Crystal Dynamics, the developers at Avengers, are going to be cutting us short from hero operations? If you're upset over it, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what it is that you think they're doing wrong and why you feel the way that you feel over this. If you agree with the way that they're handling this game, go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. Go brown nose somewhere else. And please take a lot of tissue paper with you, because you're gonna need it. Alright? To everybody who's upset over this, look, they have a YouTube channel, they have a Facebook, they have a Reddit, the developers have a Reddit. Go voice your opinion, go voice your concerns, let them know what you think, let them know your worries about this game probably dying if they don't actually care for it the way that they should. I do it. I don't care what anybody else has to say. You're not a fan. You call yourself a fan, but you're really not, because you're speaking out against the developers. The developers, not the game. I have a problem with the developers, not the game. The developers. You listening? You listening? You watching? You listening? The developers, not the game. The developers. Okay? So let's just get those 2 things separate from each other. So yeah, I mean, if you enjoyed it, please leave a comment, thumbs up. subscribe maybe, because I'm unbiased and I'll tell you the truth about what's going on. And you know, most other people will just feed you caca lies because they're probably monetized by these people, or because they just want to get monetized and make money from lies. But you know, I'm just gonna give you my unbiased angry rant. So I hope you enjoy it. Thanks a lot for watching. Peace. Are they seriously charging another $1,400 for something that is only missing the eye patch sleeves and the cape? Are you out of your blippin' mind, Crystal Dynamics? What the fudge? Really? Jesus. Look at that. Eye patch? No eye patch.